Hey guys, well, I have some interesting news of a upcoming project that I'm starting on. I think you guys have known a little bit about some of the parts of it, but not the full idea. Like I was thinking of going and converting a house over to solar. Well, I've been toying on the idea of actually building a house from the ground up to handle solar, 12 volt, to handle different systems that are a little more eco-friendly than your standard systems. Tonight, I'm actually going to check out a place that does solar panels, charge controllers, batteries, full systems, whatever you want for these kind of off-grid systems. So I'm going to check that out tonight, and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm thinking of building my own house, but not your traditional house. I'll show you guys as I'm going along. I actually may do vlogs and everything as this progresses, but I'm planning on building a house out of shipping containers. I don't know if many of you have seen these just yet. They're still not that common around here, especially not here. But they're starting to pop up in other places. My cousin has built something similar out in Australia, and their climate allows for it. Here, I'm going to have to do a lot of insulating on the inside. So I'm going to end up buying, at this point it looks like 3 40-foot shipping containers plus a 20-foot. I'll explain what all the pieces go to later on when I can sit down and draw a few pictures of how I want this thing to look and what kind of things it'll have. As it stands right now, I have a few ideas for it. Solar power being the main one. Water collection system, not so much for my use, but more for the use of the unit itself, for watering the gardens, for whatever I need to do. A few other things as part of the shipping container setup that I have, and the way that one of them sits on top of the other two, and the third one sits with that one. There's actually going to be a garage built onto this thing. But again, it'll look like a shipping container. The shape of a shipping container. Everything on the outside is going to be covered in something. That's where I'll start asking you guys polls on what would you like to see as a good outside sheathing. The roof on the first level, which will be above the kitchen, living room, and all that, is going to be a living roof, which means it'll either be grass or it's going to be whatever. That'll be another addition to all this. There's that, and then there's heating. How am I going to heat this place? I don't want to rely on electricity completely for heating, so I am going to look into buying a pellet stove. You guys have already seen one of mine at home at my parents' place, and that thing's run beautifully for the last 20 some odd years. So I was thinking of using the same concept, using a unit like that, but doing a few changes to it. There will be things like a heat exchanger on the exhaust, which will pull the waste heat out of the exhaust. Want to do a heated flooring, which means that I'm going to have to bury tubes in the flooring, because I'd rather do a liquid, which means I can heat it via solar also. Another addition would be liquid solar heat exchangers, which means that it's a solar panel, but it's liquid based, not electricity based, which means I'll have water, glycol, a mix flowing through a plate in the back that's black with a heat exchanger on the back of it. So it means I can pull heat out of the sun. Even during the winter, there's this setup that you can use that will work during the winter, and all you have to do is either get vacuum tubes, which again, these are all links I'll try and show you while I'm sitting down at my computer. There's options for building my own heat exchangers, which would be something in the range of a box with a sealed double pane window, which would have black panel in it for grabbing the heat from the sun. The issue with that one is on cold days, it's going to be really hard to pull heat. Even with the nice warm sun, that box is going to have to be insulated really, really well to be able to compensate for the fact that there's very cold air around the box. Solar, as I mentioned before, I'm going tonight to check out a company. The only thing is it's not as readily available around here due to the fact that we have hydro, also known as water dams with turbines. We get most of our electricity from hydro. There's not much in the way of nuclear or coal even fired around here, or even gas fired at this point. So we have all that stuff around. So solar is a little more on the expensive side. In Australia, it's it's a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit easier to get to. Around here, I'm looking in the $1.25 to $2 range per watt that I want to create to charge. This is not inverted. This is just straight up charge. And so far, it's getting interesting. Most of the kits I'm finding will be 350 watt panels with a 40 amp charge controller. The cool part about that is the solar panels at max will only create about 8.2 to 8.5 amps of charge current. So it means that I can add one more panel to those kits and make it a 600 watt charge capable, which means if I do a bunch of these kits, because I'm going to separate everything, so in case one goes down, I don't lose everything. What that'll mean is that there will be, let's say, 6 battery banks. Those 6 battery banks will control or have the power output of 6 power inverters. There will be 6 charge controllers and 6 times X amount of solar panels per charge controller. So it means, let's say each charge controller can handle 600 watts. It means over that whole period, I will have a total of 6 times, let's say I did 10 total banks, just to give you a rough idea. It's 6,000 watts of charge capabilities. Now, for the way I'm designing this, I may not even need that much, because a lot of the systems in the house that I want to do are either going to run on 12 volts, so 12 volt LED lighting, 12 volt fans, 12 volt pumps. I even found 12 volt water heaters, which was interesting to me. They're 600 watt, 12 volt coils. I don't know, it could be an idea. So I have those, I have lighting, fans, stuff like that. I'm going to try and keep the electronics down to a minimum, because the inverters are a little on the expensive side. I found some commercial grade inverters in my area that are really promising, and I'm going to pick up some for testing in the next few weeks. So it's going to be inverters, the solar panel kits, and I need to find AGM batteries that have a good life, good warranty on them. The good part is, unlike a car battery which goes through really strenuous cycles and temperature changes, these batteries are going to be maintained over their life, which means temperature is going to be maintained, humidity, and the current draw and everything is actually going to be a lot more even. It's not just going to be 600 amps when I go to start and I drive around for a while, shut it down, let it sit for a few hours. These batteries are built for draining them till they're almost dead, bringing them back up, drain them till they're almost dead, and then bring them back up. But I won't have to worry about draining them completely dead. I'm going to have a system that will automatically kick in to keep them all charged in case something happens to happen, which will be something along the lines of either a propane generator, or it could be anything. I'm still debating that one. Diesel generator that runs on waste oil. These are all possibilities that are in the works, and these are all things that we can be playing with to figure out what do I want to make this. So exactly. It's going to be an interesting project, I will say that one, but it's going to take a lot of work for this one. I still have a lot of planning to do. I still have to design the house as I want it. and go to the board and decide, is there any issues with this? Because a lot of the building is going to be different from your standard building. There's not going to be wood studs, there's not going to be wood beams. Most of it's going to be done by metal and concrete. The interior we'll discuss later, and floor plans we'll discuss later. I'm going to decide, how do I want to arrange everything? Do I want 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom? Do I want a bathroom here? Do I want a bathroom there? That's all stuff that I got to sit down, draw it out, and go, what fits, what doesn't fit, and decide what to do. So guys, what do you think? I'm going to try and keep a vlog going on my experiences throughout this, but we'll see. Really? Perfect timing. But yeah, so have a good one, guys, and as things pop up, I'll try and update you guys, and I'll bring you along. I got a few new pieces to the camera gear. As you can see, I got a skeleton case with a microphone, so you guys can actually hear me properly and not just hear the sound of my mount going ch-ch-ch. You'll be able to hear me a little clearly. I'll be able to actually talk and do vlogs. And I got a bunch of other mounts, so when I go to work on something, I can put the camera on my chest, on my head, and we can just work while you guys are listening. So guys, have a good one. Talk to you later.